Final couple of top 5 videos left. We're covering safeties. Let's hit the intro. Coming in at number 5 is the LA Chargers third-year safety Derwin James, who is an effective player at pretty much all levels of the defense. The 2018 All-Pro, Pro Bowler, Rookie of the Year candidate is an absolute nightmare for offenses to have to account for when he's healthy. 2019 didn't quite serve Derwin James as well, only being able to play in 5 games before finishing the season on the injured reserve list. But heading into the 2020 NFL season, I expect Derwin James to have quite the bounce back year. When he's out there on defense, he is a do-it-all safety, able to make plays in the backfield, getting tackles for loss, getting sacks, getting after quarterbacks, getting after running backs, and then being able to play rangy, getting out in space, making a lot of plays against opposing wide receivers, tight ends, plenty of pass deflections and interception. He has a nose for the ball, a knack for getting the ball in his hands, getting the ball out of offensive players' hands, and giving the Chargers plenty of opportunities. I'm expecting 2020 Derwin James to walk into the season very energized, with a chip on his shoulder, with a lot to prove after a dismay 2019 season, and in a new SoFi Stadium, beautiful new stadium home of the Chargers and the Rams. Gonna be a little bit of new energy, new fans, a lot of attractive eyes in the stands, along with some new uniforms by the LA Chargers. I'm expecting Derwin James to have a very solid season, and he comes in at number 5 heading into 2020. Checking out number 4 on my list, it's Tyrann Mattheiu, the Honey Badger for the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, the Honey Badger was one of 2019's best free agency additions. The Chiefs signing him to a 3-year contract in which the first season he went out there and helped win a Super Bowl, being named the team MVP over, some guy named Patrick Mahomes, cracking the top 100 players list are huge honors, but he also got an All-Pro nod for his efforts in the 2019 season. Now with Juan Thornhill, the safety out of UVA rookie, being a dynamic player going down very late in the season, the Chiefs defense, as you could expect, would have taken a huge hit. But with Tyron Matthew's elevated level of play, his explosive, dynamic play, they were able to make up that loss, make up that difference, along with help of other players within the secondary, on the way to an eventual Super Bowl championship. 75 tackles, multiple pass deflections, 4 interceptions on the season. Tyrann Mathieu was an absolute freak beast for the Kansas City Chiefs, and heading into the 2020 NFL season, I absolutely expect Tyrann Mathieu to be one of the best safeties in the NFL, one of the best defenders in the NFL, coming in at number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 3 is Earl Thomas, one of the architects of the Legion of Boom. In his first season with the Baltimore Ravens, was able to come up with a couple of interceptions, a few pass deflections, a forced fumble, and was able to effectively cover up some of the best players in the NFL, leading an established monster secondary with All-Pro Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters also making a huge impact later on in the season. Earl Thomas, the coordinator, the lead man in that secondary, was able to help make some plays along the way, getting another Pro Bowl nod onto the Hall of Fame resume. The architect of the Legion of Boom, one of the founding members, has continued to make a huge stamp on the NFL, and I fully expect in the 2020 NFL season, Earl Thomas to keep up a very high level of production. Coming in at number 3 on the heading into 2020 list for this upcoming season means I got some high expectations. NFL fans' expectations should absolutely be high for Earl Thomas, as he has shown time and time again he is one of the best safeties in the NFL. Checking in at number 2 is the newest Seahawk addition, Jamal Adams, who formerly of the New York Jets put together a very impressive 2019 season, establishing his first All-Pro nod within his first 3 seasons being in the NFL. His second Pro Bowl as well coming in the 2019 season with a pick 6, 7 pass deflections, multiple forced fumbles, 6.5 sacks, and he's an absolute nightmare at every single level of the field. Imagine Derwin James, but he does it even better, right? So Jamal Adams is able to get into the backfield, strip sack quarterbacks, take them to the end zone. Daniel Jones knows what I'm talking about. And the dude's an absolute nightmare in coverage because he's able to account for every single player on the field in a sense that he can cover them. He can absolutely get into space, recognize what's happening on the offense, and then go out there, make some plays, and lay the boom on opposing ball carriers. Jamal Adams is one of the most exciting players in the NFL, and as he joins Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson up in Washington, in Seattle, in the noisy 12-man stadium, I really expect Jamal Adams to have a very high level of play in the 2020 NFL season. Jamal Adams is an absolute beast on the football field, and I'm excited as he lands at number 2 heading into 2020. And last but certainly not least, number 1 on my list is Harrison Smith of the Minnesota Vikings with 3 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, and including a sack in the 2019 season. Harrison Smith is easily one of my favorite players and one of the most underrated players in the NFL right now. The man comes in at number 1 on my list. I'm going to give the man the recognition he deserves, coming in at a modest 64 on the top 100 players list, only going up about 10 spots from the 2018 list or 2019 list, however the year works. It's kind of strange. Harrison Smith is, in my opinion, the best safety in football. His ability to disguise blitzes, disguise coverages at the line of scrimmage, going up and being able to get into opposing backfields, get his hands on opposing quarterbacks and running backs, as well as being able to disengage, drop back in a coverage, and then take out opposing tight ends and wide receivers, getting his hands on the ball, creating a very confusing look for opposing quarterbacks. Harrison Smith is absolutely underrated, and he's also one of the best football players in the NFL, topping out at number 1 on my list. I'm expecting 2020 to pay very, very, very well to Harrison Smith. I think he's in store for a great season this upcoming year, and a lot more NFL fans are going to start taking notice, in my opinion. But thank you so much for watching the video. All my social medias are down in the description below. Feel free to stick around, watch some more content, subscribe, get the bell on to know every single time I'm dropping a video. Like, comment, share, all the good stuff. My name's Tristan Blake Rines, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Adios.